What's going on, guys? Ryan with Jet Patrol back. Another video. It is currently 5 a.m. on Thursday. I've got some coffee here. I got some projects to work on and Hot Toys, and I decided to announce another Flash figure from from one of the worst movies ever made. I got to be honest with you, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about this 6-scale Young Barry Flash. This is the deluxe version. We'll talk about what comes with the deluxe, what doesn't, so you can decide which one you want. I figure most of you probably will go with the regular versus the deluxe, but we'll talk about why here in just a minute. Here we go. We've got Young Barry, Young Flash, looking pretty good. Honestly, the suit looks really good. Despite what you want to say about the film, the figure itself actually looks pretty good. And the armor going on here that looks somewhat posable in the photos we're going to look at, and their blogger photos we got with this guy. But the head sculpt looks pretty good. Honestly, this particular expression is not an easy expression for them to pull off in 6 scale on a figure. And honestly, it's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking back to Ant-Man. I'm thinking back to some other figures that the expressions were a little weird. And when you show teeth, sometimes it doesn't work out all that great. This one actually looks not that bad. So moving on, let's take a look at the second photo we've got here. This is going to be part of the deluxe version as well. You got some battle damage parts going on. So you've got the scar going on the left cheek, and it's also part of the scars damaged on the actual cowl, because you're going to get switch out cowls as well. As we'll look at that photo in a little bit. We got some force effects going on. I'm kind of watching the posing of this figure, to see what kind of movement we get out of it, because he's supposed to be, running around doing kind of crazy stuff. And the question is, can you do that with this more rubbery-ish, pleathery suit material? I don't know. Now, we're not going to get a totally clean armor version. So if you can kind of look out here, even this version right here was supposed to be somewhat clean. Is not perfectly clean. It's kind of beat up a little bit. It's got the Batman signal on there, because obviously if you saw the film, the repaint and the whole thing going on there. So it's not perfectly clean, but it actually looks pretty good. I think if it was perfectly bright red and clean, it might not look all that great. And then you'd have issues with damaged parts, and it just, I don't know, something about it. But it's kind of cool to see the bat signal, or the bat symbol, going on the chest, and then he obviously reprinted it, spray printed it on the yellow. So kind of dig that. This expression right here, you're going to interchangeable lower mouth parts. We'll look at the differences in here in a little bit, but honestly, I kind of like the other one better. This is a more serious face. This one's a more kind of weird face, and then you got this one right here. That one's kind of more fun. So I kind of like that one a little better, which is kind of weird. This particular mouth plate reminds me of the Christian Bale duck face, or I guess we're a duck face. Yeah, whatever you want to call that face from Christian Bale Batman. Or yeah, that's kind of what that one reminds me of. This one's a little more neutral. It looks all right. Here he is standing up, doing absolutely nothing, watching the original Barry do all the work. And yeah, there we go. So again, not much posability here. I'm looking at, if I zoom in here, I'm looking at the creases in the suit, which we've seen before, which is fine. Look, that's okay. It's okay. I'm just watching it, and I'm saying, hey, what are they going to show us in these photos? This is actually a pretty good pose. If you can pull this off without destroying the suit, I think this works. So, in my opinion, it's got to have ratcheted arms and legs, elbows and knees and hips. I think it's got to have that if you're going to be able to pull this stuff off, or else the suit material itself is going to be so tight on the 6-scale body that it won't be able to stay in this pose. So I'm thinking probably ratcheted elbows and knees and hips, but obviously I don't know. I'm just speculating here. But here we go. So here's your interchangeable cowl heads with separate rolling eyeballs. You can see the scar going down the left side of the cowl, and obviously it's got the switch out mouth plates on this one. And then again, we're looking at the deluxe version, so we'll get into what comes with it a little bit. The paint application on the two cowls is different for sure. You got more dark spots here and there, just depending on how they paint it in the final version, but it's definitely different. So there's that. And then you've got the lower section on the cowl is different as well. So if you look down here, not only is the top section done, but the lower section's different as well. So you've got this black, dark material, almost fabric-like stuff going on the one on the left, and then on the one on the right, it's pretty much just all Batman-esque, if you will. And so differences, you got to pick which one you like. I think the one on the left probably got a little bit more mobility in it, just based on what we're seeing. Because the one on the right, how's it actually going to turn? I think it's more looking straight ahead, and then the one on the left, you can actually move the head around. So that will probably dictate which one you'd rather have or which one you might want to display. Just that one feature right there would be a big deal for me for display purposes, because I don't know if I'd want to have them just staying straight ahead. But we'll see. So with the Deluxe, you can actually get an unmasked head sculpt, which is not a reason to get this figure, because that head sculpt is as creepy as it looks in figure form. It looked just as bad on screen. I don't think anybody, I say anybody, I literally mean, I don't think anybody would actually display theirs with that head sculpt. I just don't see it. I think it looks ridiculous. I'm not saying it's a bad head sculpt. I'm saying it looked bad in the film. And they did a good job copying what it looked like in the film, but it just looked really bad in the film. And for that reason, not feeling it. Regardless, they're going to give you one if you get the Deluxe, and then you can do whatever you want with it. Rolling eyeballs, sculpted hair. Don't see an artisan version of the Flash coming out anytime soon. That would be kind of weird. Interchangeable cowled heads with separate rolling eyeballs. So you get a lot of rolling eyeballs going around in this figure. This thing right here, again, it looks like it did in the film. I just didn't like it. So there it is. So it looks like one piece. No, it is two pieces. I'm sorry. You got a separate neck piece. So you got to have the change out, and then it's a separate piece. The reason I say that is because if I zoom in here, there's a noticeable gap going on here between the head and the neck. So I think we're definitely going to get a separate piece there. And then, I don't know. Again, buy it if you like it. Not for me. Whatever. The light up display base, I think is pretty freaking cool. Doing that for DC for pretty much this entire film. And I like it. I'm kind of jealous they didn't do this for Star Wars, because it's light up Star Wars base like this, and that would be kind of sick for troopers and main characters or whatever. I think that would be pretty cool, but unfortunately, it's been given to this crappy movie. So there we go. Young Barry, the Deluxe version. There we go. So you're gonna get the beginnings, the makings of the Dark Flash here. So you're gonna get interchangeable hands, and you got these interchangeable armor parts with the shards going through it. And obviously parts on the back, and you got both sections on both sides. It looks pretty cool. It's got a lot of stuff sticking out of them. So all these little pieces of shards you're going to see sticking out of them, those are all going to be interchangeable parts, which are probably going to be Velcro, if I had to guess. Except for the gauntlets, those are just pull the hand off. The gauntlet can change wherever else. Everything else is probably, or the shoulder pads are probably going to be Velcro. And it looks cool. I just don't know that you need the Deluxe, but I want to back one up here. This is what I was talking about with the interchangeable cowl here. This is where I see more movement coming along. When you got this dark section here, that's not that rubbery section, that you're going to get more movement out of the head area and the neck area. So, that's a thing. Interchangeable battle armors, that's fine. If you want to take photos with it, great. People very well may want to display theirs like that. And some people will probably get two of these to display it both ways. I understand that. I get it. The Deluxe version comes with the interchangeable armor and the separate rolling eyeballs. For that reason, I think most people will just get the regular. The head sculpt, it's just not, it wasn't good in the film. It just looked ridiculous. Hot Toys did a good job replicating it, in my opinion, but that doesn't make it good. And then the interchangeable armor, I just don't think it's a must. I really don't. I don't see it. I don't see it. I think the regular is just fine for most people. I really do. With the regular, you're going to get the interchangeable cowled heads, rolling eyeballs, interchangeable lower faces. You're going to get all that stuff. You're going to get everything you need to have a good Flash display. This other stuff, I don't think you need it, but that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you want to pre-order on these, check out Pop Collectibles. There's a link in the description below with a discount code for you as well. Let me know your thoughts on this Flash. Are you getting it? Which version? And how many? As always, click through the like. See you next time.